Back when I went to work and up until I quit, hours meant nothing. We'd hit the woods and we might not come out for 3 or 4 days at a time.
What would you do in there?
We'd make us a bed and under a tree, and we'd stay right there till the operators showed up and started to operate the still.
Was it a game?
No, it wasn't exactly a game, and then yet I guess you could call it a game.
For 22 years, it was a game that James Big Red Beeler played to win. Today, such men are called special agents. But when Red first began, they worked for the Internal Revenue Service, hence the name, Revenuer.
How many stills do you think you've raided?
1,000. I've cut at least 50 in one day.
What cutting? What's that mean?
Tearing them up.
Bring an axe?
Axe, dynamite.
It was a game more about money than it was about morals. The rules were simple. The moonshiner's goal was to sell untaxed liquor. The revenuer had to stop him any way he could. All the players knew each other. Still operators were known as femurs, and they had nicknames of their own for their favorite revenuers. Names like Skinhead, Ashtray, and Big Red.
When you bust through that ivy and saw that still and see those 4 or 5 guys there...
It's a thrill. It's a thrill. Blood pressure goes up and the race is on. It'd be just like running in on a covey of doves. Everybody took off in different directions.
The game was played at full speed in this region. The half-gallon fruit jar and the Silver Cloud still were East Tennessee trademarks. The Silver Cloud could make more whiskey faster than any still around.
They used Epsom salts in it, Red Seal Live. They used isopropyl alcohol, just anything to get it to proof up pretty good proof and to ferment as fast as they could ferment it. As the old timers would say, that's liquor to be sold and not to be drank.
East Tennessee moonshine was sold to the underworld of northern cities like Chicago, Cincinnati, and Detroit. Liquor runners played the game wide open.
They didn't make any of the liquor. They didn't do anything but haul. Some of them could hit a ditch line and ride it for 30 or 40 yards, come out of that ditch and go right on down the road. Roadblock still sitting there, hadn't even got the motor started yet.
The notorious Thunder Road of legend and song ran through Knoxville out on Kingston Pike.
But the real Thunder Road was from Tallsby to Middleburg.
For all its thrills, it was a sad game. But for most moonshiners, poor and poorly educated, it was the only game in town.
One fellow, he had quite a large family. He put 2 of them through high school and college. He went to the penitentiary about 3 different times that I can recall. He's one of them that told the judge he couldn't promise him he wouldn't make liquor because if his family got hungry, why, he'd make liquor before he'd steal. People of that type that you had respect for, or at least I did. But at the same time, I knew I had a job to catch them and send them to penitentiary if I had to.
Did these people come to respect you?
I hope they did, or at least I think they did. I still see a lot of them that I sent to the penitentiary, and I'm not carrying a gun today.